वन्दे गुरून् ईशभक्तान् ईशवतारकान् तत्प्रकाशांश्च तत्शक्ति कृष्णचैतन्यसंज्ञकम् वन्दे श्रीकृष्णचैतन्य नित्यानन्दसहोदितो गौडादये पुष्पवन्तौ चित्रौ छन्दोतमानदौ जदद्वैतब्रह्मोपनिषदि तदप्यस्य तनूधा यः आत्मान्तर्यामि पुरुष इति शस्यांश विभव षडैश्वर्यपूर्णजयः भगवान् स स्वयम् अयं न चैतन्यात् कृष्णात् जगति परतत्त्वं परं जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौरभक्तवृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We are in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 2, discussing the Lord Chaitanya, the personality of Godhead, Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are discussing from the third verse of Mangalachan prayer, Jad Advaita Brahma Panisadi Tadapyasya Tanubha Ya Atma Antarijami Purushayati Sasyam Savibhava Shadaishwariya Purna Jaiha Bhagavan Sa Swayam Ayam Na Chaitanyat Krishna Jagati Paratattvam Paramya. So in this verse, last class, we are discussing the first line of this verse. Jad Advaita Brahmapanishadi Tadapyasya Tanubha. That Upanishad which describes as the Brahma, what is that? Tadapi Asya Tanubha. That is the bodily effulgence of Lord Chaitanya. So in that way, last time we came to text number 12, where we discussed about Tahar Angir Shuddha Kiran Mandal Upanishad Kahitare Brahma Sunirmal. What the Upanishads call the transcendental impersonal Brahman is the realm of the glowing effulgence of the same Supreme Person. So the effulgence which is emanating from the body of the personality of Godhead is what defined in Upanishad as Brahman. And in Vishnu Puran, there is a verse, it says, Dve rupe brahmanastasya murtancha murtamevacha. The Supreme Brahman has two features. One is called personal feature and impersonal feature. So this Brahma Tattva can be understood in two ways. One is in his personal feature, another one in his impersonal feature, the all-pervading aspect of the Supreme. And there are two students of the Upanishad. You can say those who take to the study of the Upanishads, they can be categorized into two divisions. One category, one class of the followers of Upanishad, the students of Upanishad, who study about the impersonal feature of the Absolute Truth. They are monists. And there is other group who study Upanishad, but they understand about the personal feature of the Absolute. Okay, very interesting. Uh, so here now we are discussing about the impersonal Brahman. So in text number 13, which is the subject matter of discussion from today, चर्म चक्षे देखे जाइछे सूर्य निर्विशेष ज्ञान मार्गे लइते नारे कृष्णेर विशेष. So here it is said that चर्म चक्षे देखे जाइछे सूर्य निर्विशेष. When one sees with the naked eyes sun, how does he perceive the sun? He sees sun is nothing but a globe, an effulgent object, right? We know from the description of various Vedic literature that sun is not just an effulgent object, but even though people who are living in this earth planet, I mean to say the common human being like us, to our eyes, sun may appear like just an effulgent object. We can't see anything but the light. But we have the information that in the sun globe, there is a personality called Surya Narayana. It's a personal form. He has a form. He has his hand, he has his leg, and he has a chariot, he has his entourage. So, but we, the people in this world, do not have the conception about the personality feature of the sun god. Therefore, it says, Charma Chakshe Dekhe Jaiche Surya Nirvishesh. With the naked eye, one can't know the sun except as a glowing substance. Jnana Marge Loite Nare Krishner Vishesh. Those who follow the path of philosophical speculation, they accept Lord Krishna as also impersonal, or you can say Krishna without transcendental varieties. So here, why does it appear? Why do people, they don't know Krishna as a person? There are monists who fail to understand Krishna as a person. Why? Because it is explained in Kathopanishad, Nayam Atma Pravatanena Labhya Na Medhaya Na Bahuna Sutena. Very interesting point. If a person thinks that I am a very intelligent person, I am very studious, just by exercising my intelligence, I can understand Parabrahma, Krishna. No, it is said, no medhayana bhuna sutena. By manufacturing concoctive ideas, one cannot understand Krishna. That is not possible. Then the question can be asked, how can one understand Krishna? The same Kathopanishad says, Jam evaisa brunute tena labhyas tasyaisa Tasyaisa Atma Vibhrunute Tanum Swam. That means Lord Krishna is understood by those who is favored by him. Means Lord is understood by those who the Lord chooses. Or when the Lord, when that person, the devotee is favored by Krishna, or you can say is favored by the confidential devotee of Lord Krishna, then only he can say. So by hearing to such a statement, you should not be confused. Oh, then what is the use of doing this sadhana bhakti? Anyway, whenever the mercy of Krishna will flow, the devotee's mercy will be given to us, then only we will understand Krishna. So just stop performing your sadhana bhakti. My dear devotees, are you thinking like that? Don't enter into such kind of illusion. Okay? No, sadhana bhakti is required. Why? Here we said, Lord is understood by those who the Lord chooses. Now, why Lord will choose you to express himself? You tell me. What is so great about you? There are so many living entities. You are also one among them. Why he will choose you? That is why we perform sadhana bhakti, just to qualify ourselves to become a recipient of the mercy of the Supreme Lord. And then this sadhana bhakti actually is nothing but to polishing ourselves, because at this point we are conditioned by different types of desires, right? Whatever we see in this material world, the material objects, that become very, very attractive to us. And we are ready to accept any amount of material object with the expense of any amount of material opulence. At the expense of any amount of money, we are very eager to accept the material objects in this world. So now you can imagine, if somebody is very much eager to obtain a very polished or sophisticated material objects in this world, what is qualifying him to get this object? Money. If he has money, then only he can get that. If you want to purchase a property in a posh area, in a big city, without money you cannot purchase. So money is kind of facilitating you. So similarly, this sadhana practice is facilitating you. It's giving you the qualification where you get the mercy, and where Lord will choose you to reveal himself. So in that way, Jnana Marge Laitanare Krishnera Vishesh. Those who are students of the Jnana Marga, they don't understand the transcendental variety of Krishna in Rupa, Guna, Leela, his form, pastimes, and the name. They cannot understand the varietedness of his form, qualities, and pastimes. So, therefore, now to explain that the impersonal Brahman effulgence, actually impersonal Brahman is the effulgence of his transcendental body. Now, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is going to give a quotation from Brahma Samhita. Jasya prabha prabhavato jagadanda koti swashesha vasudhari vibhuti bhinnam tad brahma nishkalam anantam ashesha bhutam govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. So I worship Govinda, the prime member Lord, who is endowed with great power, the glowing effulgence of his transcendental form is the impersonal Brahman. which is absolute, complete, and unlimited, and which displays the varieties of countless planets with their different opulences in millions and millions of universes. Okay, let us understand this from Jiva Goswami's Kramasandarbha. Jiva Goswami writes, Narakritehe Sandra Chaitanya Rashe Krishnasya Nirakaras Chaitanya Rasi Prabhasthaniyo Brahma Prakashatvena Uchyate iti atra pramanam vachanika mahajasya prabha ityadi. So in this verse, the explanation have been given. It is mentioned expressively, you can say. What? Narakrite Sandra Chaitanya Rasi Krishnasya. The Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose glowing effulgence is the impersonal Brahman. This is the reference where Brahma says, what Brahma says? Prabhavato, the all-potent Supreme Person's effulgence is Brahman. Prabhavato jasya prabha, tat Brahma. The all-potent Supreme Person's effulgence is called Brahman. Tam Govindam aham bhajami iti anmaya. It should be understood that Govinda, whose personal effulgence, the bodily effulgence is the Brahman, and I want to worship, I worship Govinda. Kidrisam Brahma, what type of Brahma is this? Iti aha. Jagadanda kotishu asankhya teshu jagat andeshu. So there are unlimited, there's millions and millions of universes. Vasudhadi vibhuti bhinnam karanatmana ekam tat karyatmana asankhyatam ityartha. So in millions of universes, there are different planets, like we have got Earth planet here. In this Earth planet, there are different objects created. These objects are made of earth, water, fire, ether, all these elements are there. So by the combination of this Panchamahabhuta, the different objects which we see is created in this planet, Earth planet. Similarly, in millions of universes, there are millions and billions of Earth planets like that, and there are also so many different objects. Those objects are nothing but the manifestation of the opulence of Govinda. Ityartha. Nanu so akamayata bahusyam ityadau prabho reva pareshat karyam sutam na tu tat prabhaya iti chet. One objection is being raised here, that here it is said jasya prabha prabhavata jagadanda koti. These millions of universes are manifested from his prabha, from his glowing effulgence, right? That is the expression of his vibhuti. But it is said that now here we see that this prabha, the effulgence of the Parameshvara, is actually, not utat prabhaya iti. The manifestation of this universe is caused because he had desired it. So, akamayata bahushyam. Before this manifest cosmos came into existence, the personality of Godhead had desired to become many. Therefore, this whole cosmic manifestation has come into being. So that is the desire of a person. Nowhere we see that a light or the effulgence is the cause of this cosmos. Prabhu, Prabha eva कार्य निष्पादिका इति विवक्षया तद उत्तरिति तद प्रभया एव क्षुब्धा प्रकृति जगद अंडानि अशुत इत्यर्थ. So if you see the creation in the beginning, when Mahavishnu lies down in Karna ocean, then he glances at her Prakriti. What does it mean? If you read Laghu Bhagavatamrita, there it is very clearly explained that the glance which is activating the Prakriti, which further transforms into Brahmanda, the universes, that is nothing but that which is activating the Prakriti. What is that? Halo. You know, that halo is the glow. Like sometimes you have seen some people, they make a circular glow around the head of a sadhu. That is called halo. This halo is the kind of cause for activating the Prakriti, and after that this Brahmanda is coming into existence. केवलाद्वैतादिभिः जद ब्रह्म स्वरूपम निर्णयते. Those who are Kevaladvaita followers. Kevaladvaita followers means who are exclusive monists, those who follow exclusive monism. For them, how do they describe this Brahman? They say this Brahman is without any variety. So when they say this Brahman is without variety, that monism concept is not fitting into this verse, understanding of this verse. Because in this verse, the Brahman who have been described here as idam tu visuddhatva, it is supremely pure, prakashamayatva adi dharma yuk shastra vachyam jagat karanatvat sad dvitiyancha iti mahat antaram. So there is a difference between the understanding about the Brahma Tattva by the monists and those who are follower of the personal feature of the Supreme. So here we understand the Brahma Tattva which have been referred to here is that Supreme Person from who acts as the cause and effect for the manifestation of this cosmos. You can say he is also ingredient cause and he is also the efficient cause, upadana and nimitta karana. And therefore, we need to understand that this Brahman, this cosmos is nothing but the creation of that Supreme Brahman, in which is the transformation of his energy. So ultimately, he is a person, and from whom all these universes are created. There are many, right? Anantam ashesha bhutam, tad brahma niskalam ananta ashesha bhutam. So in that way, we have the clear understanding about that Param Brahma. He has Satya Sankalpata Shakti. By the energy of his desire, Satya Sankalpa, he can create millions of universes, and there are millions of varieties seen. Therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami further explains, Koti Koti Brahmande Je Brahmer Vibhuti Sei Brahma Govindir Hai Angakanti Sei Govinda Bhajiyami Teho Morpati tahar prasade mor hoy srishti shakti. The opulences of the impersonal Brahman spread throughout the millions and millions of universes. That Brahman is but the bodily effulgence of Govinda. Okay, so in this connection, we need to refer to the point how the halo is projected on Prakriti and from where the entire cosmos comes into being. That is how he is distributed, is spread, this Brahman is spread throughout the millions and millions of universes. So then he says, Sei Govinda Bhojiyami, I worship that Govinda. Teho Mor Pati. He is my Lord and Master. Tahara Prasade Mor Hoy Srishti Shakti. I, being empowered by Govinda, has got the power to create the universe. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, a small purport, is saying, although the sun is situated far away from the other planets, its rays maintain them all. Indeed, the sun diffuses its heat and light all over the universe. Similarly, the Supreme Sun, Govinda, diffuses his heat and light everywhere in the form of his different potencies. Okay, so in that way, that when we say this Brahman spread throughout the millions of universes, this is what it means, that his different potencies are distributed everywhere. Then now Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains that, are you, somebody can ask the question, are you the devotees who are desiring to attain that Brahman? No. Therefore, this verse have been given from Srimad Bhagavatam. Here, Uddhava speaks to Krishna. Munayo Bhatavasana Samana Urdhvamanthina Brahmakhyam Dhamate Janti Santa Sannyasino Malaha. Munaya Bhatavasana. Bhatavasana means, Bhata means air. That means those who wear a garment which is made of air. That means they are naked. Okay? Naked saints and sannyasis. What do they do? Samana. They undergo different austerities. What is that? Those especially who follow the process of Jnana Marga, they try to practice renunciation, for which they undergo severe austerity. So those kind of people, and they follow strict brahmacharya, urdhvamanthina. Where do they go? After practicing so strict celibacy and undergoing strict penances, where do they go? Brahmakhyam dhamate janti. They go to this Brahman effulgence, which is the effulgence of the body of the Supreme Lord. Santa Sannyasino Amara. They are Amara. But here, Chakravarti Thakur, he says, Satyam te jantu. Let the sannyasis attain this Brahman effulgence. Vayantu, we, not that Jijasama. We don't desire to go there. What do you want to? Kintu Tan Mukhachandra Madhura Smita Sudha Pana Matta Eva. We, the devotees, we just simply want to remain intoxicated upon receiving the nectar which is flowing from the moon-like face of yours. Okay, so that's why devotees, they take they enjoy the bliss of drinking the nectar which is flowing from the lotus mouth of the Supreme Lord. So in that way, we are not interested in attaining this Brahma Sayujya. Prabhupada is writing in this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhata Vasana refers to mendicants who do not care about anything material, including clothing, but who depend wholly on nature. So there are these jnanis who attain this nirvishesh mukti, sajujya mukti. There is a verse in Brahmanda Purana. Says Siddha lokostu tamasa pare jatra vasanti siddha brahma sukhe magna daityascha harinahata. You see, those who are worshipper of this impersonal Brahman, after undergoing so much austerity, practicing celibacy, where do they go? They attain the destination of the demons who are killed by the Supreme Lord. Siddha Brahma Sukhe Magna. These Siddhas, they enjoy the bliss of Brahman, where the demons who are killed by the Supreme Lord also are elevated. So in that way, the devotee, they don't desire this Brahman. Why it is not, it is devoid of variety. There is no pastime of the Supreme Lord. When somebody goes to this Siddhaloka, where he enjoys the bliss of Brahman, what is that? He just have the conception and aspect of bliss, that much experience. Like sometimes, you may hear about a particular country. Let us speak about that. You just have some kind of a conception about, that is like that. You just by hearing, you may get some sort of happiness. That's all. You don't have much of physical contact, or you can say, physical understanding of that place. Like we can say, again, give an example. Okay, a person who has seen the milk from distance, or he has heard about the milk. Maybe, he knows milk is, white in complexion. That much, he may, see from a distance place, he can understand about that. But unless one comes to him, he reveals, milk definitely is not, a white color object, but it's also, liquid, and this taste is very sweet because he has tasted the milk. So he will have a better understanding. This Brahma Sukha is nothing but just having some information about the aspect of Brahman and realizing the bliss of Brahman in that way. So that is not a very advanced stage of Brahman realization. Therefore, to explain that, next verse, Lokashnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says, Antarjami jare yogo shastre kay, Atmantarjami jare yoga shastre kay, Seho Govindero angsho vibhuti je hoy. Now, starting with this verse number 18 till text number 22, the second line, Jadadvaita Brahmapanisi Tadapisha Tanubha, Ja Atma Antarjami Purusho iti Sasyamsa Vibhava. The second line, Ja Atma Antarjami Purusho iti Sasyamsa Vibhava. This second line, that means the Paramatma feature of the Absolute Truth, is explained from text number 18 to 22. Okay? Those who are taking notes, this is for you. He who is described in the Yoga Shastra as the indwelling super soul, Atma Antarjami, is also a plenary portion of Govinda's personal expansion. So here we need to understand this concept very clearly. Srila Prabhupada is explaining. He's saying the authorized scriptures direct, last paragraph in the purport to text number 18. The authorized scriptures direct the individual souls to revive their relationship with the super soul. Indeed, the system of yoga is the process of transcending the influence of the material elements by establishing a connection with the Purusha, known as Paramatma. One who has thoroughly studied the intricacies of creation can know very easily that this Paramatma is the plenary person of the Supreme Being, Sri Krishna. So that is the plenary manifestation of Krishna, the Paramatma feature. We understand this. Okay? And so what is the difference between Brahman realization and Paramatma realization? First of all, we explained that Brahman realization is nothing but the experience of bliss, nothing but the experience of the Brahman in an aspect of bliss. That's all. But in Paramatma realization, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that what is that verse? The verse starts with प्रादेश मात्रम पुरुषम वसंतम चतुर्भुजम कंज रथांग शंख गदाधरम धारणया स्मरन्ति केचित् स्वदेहांतर हृदयावकाशे. This is the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, केचित् स्वदेहांतर हृदयावकाशे प्रादेश मात्रम पुरुषम वसंतम चतुर्भुजम कंज रथंग शंख गदाधरं धारणया स्मरन्ति. So the yogis, those who are followers of the path of yoga, how do they realize this pursuit? They also experience the bliss, but through meditation. They meditate on the form of the Supreme Lord. Kechit swadehantar hridayavakas. In the heart, they meditate on the Supreme. How? Pradesha matram purusham vasantam. Pradesha matra means the distance between this thumb and the index finger. Prabhupada translates it like 8 inches in size. And he has got 4-arm feature, holding club, disc, and conch shell and lotus. So in that way, this is how they meditate. And they experience some sort of bliss. But there is not much exchange happening, because there is no variety of his pastimes and all. Like we have seen, what verse from Srimad Bhagavatam? I quoted this verse. You can refer to the other verse, then you can find out. Kechit swadehantar hridayavakase pradesha matram purusham vasantam. This is the verse you can refer to. So anyway, so they meditate upon the 4-arm form, Vishnu form, and that is how they actually experience some sort of bliss. But there is also no exchange with the Supreme in terms of his pastimes. Okay, he doesn't. Paramatma does not manifest any pastime. Just like we have seen in the life of Dhruva Maharaj, right? When Dhruva Maharaj, he was meditating on the Supreme Lord, then he actually had the vision of the Paramatma in his heart. And then because there is no much exchange happening, he wanted to talk. Then what happened? That Supreme Lord in form of Paramatma disappeared from his heart. And then he became manifest before Dhruva Maharaj. That's how he was able to exchange. So in that way, you can say the Bhagavad realization, the realization of the bliss in personal feature of the Supreme is the topmost. Okay? Therefore, in the next verse, Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, he says, अनंत स्फटिके जैछे एक सूर्य भासे तैछे जीवे गोविंदेर अंश प्रकाशे. As the one sun appears reflected in countless jewels, so Govinda manifests himself as the Paramatma in the hearts of all living beings. So here we must understand that even though that Supreme Lord has manifested himself in the heart of different living entities, where it appears like he is many, he is divided, but it is not. Huh? Therefore, the example have been given, sun is one. But people in different places, they perceive him differently. But his object is one, sun, right? If 10 persons, they are in 10 different locations, it is the midday, everybody will say, sun is over my head, right? Somebody, standing in one location, another one is standing in 10 miles away from him, another one standing 50 miles away from him, but everybody will say, sun is on top of my head, right? The object is same. So similarly, same super soul, same Supreme Lord, he manifests himself in the heart of the different individuals. Prabhupada, he writes in the purport, the Paramatma or Super Soul, the guide of the individual living beings, does not take part in fulfilling the desires of the living beings, but he arranges for their fulfillment by material nature. Okay, he arranges, he makes the arrangement, but he doesn't personally get involved like that. As soon as an individual soul becomes conscious of his eternal relationship with the super soul and looks only toward him, he at once becomes free from the entanglement of material enjoyment. Christian philosophers who do not believe in the law of karma put forward the argument that it is absurd to say one must accept the results of past deeds of which he has no consciousness. A criminal is first uh, reminded of his misdeeds by witness in a law court, and then he is punished. If death is completely forgetful, why should a person be punished for his past misdeeds? So this is the question by the Christians. The conception of Paramatma is an inconceivable answer to these fallacious arguments. Okay? Paramatma knows. Even if what you have done in your previous life, after leaving the body, you may forget everything. But Paramatma, he witness. He remains as the witness, so he knows everything. The Paramatma is the witness of the past activities of the individual living being. A man may not remember what he has done in his childhood, but his father, who has seen him grow through different stages of development, certainly remembers. Similarly, the living being undergoes many changes of body through many lives, but the super soul is always with him and remembers all his activities despite his evolution through different bodies. So here it is very clearly explained that Supreme Lord, he manifests himself as in one of his features a super soul and living in the heart of the individual living entities, he facilitates the fulfillment of their material desires. That's why Bhagavad Gita says, Upadrashta Numanta. Upadrashta means he just oversees things and he permits, Anumanta. So in that way he orders the Prakriti to for the fulfillment of their material desires. Uh, but no, he is in the heart of a tiger, he is in the heart of a tree, he is in the heart of a human being, he is heart of even in, amongst the human beings there are different types of people. So it looks like he is having different, he has become different. No, it's not like that. The example can be taken just like those who are conscious about the flute. The flute man, he blows the wind in one hole. When the same wind coming out from 6 different holes, they produce different types of sounds. But the air is same, right? There is no difference in air. Same air which is blown through the hole, one hole, and the same air coming out through 6 different holes, they produce different types of sounds. So similarly, Paramatma is, and the Supreme Lord is same. He always remains the same Paramatma in different individuals. And therefore, from Bhagavad Gita, he says, Athava Bahunaitena King Yatena Tavarjuna Vishtabhyaham Idam Krishnam Ekang Sena Sthito Jagat. What more shall I say to you, Arjuna? Krishna is saying, I live throughout this cosmic manifestation merely by my single plenary person. That is the plenary manifestation as the super soul. He pervades and supports the entire universe, right? As super soul. Therefore, Vishmadev, he confirms. Who is the super soul? Now we are saying, Jo Atma Antarjami Purushoiti Ashyamsa Vibhava. He is the plenary manifestation of this person. Who is this person? When Bhishmadev was lying on the bed of arrows in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Krishna, along with many different rishis and Pandavas, visited Bhishmadev. And while lying on the bed of arrows, Bhishmadev offered his prayers to Krishna. And the last prayer, in his prayer, he has focused his thinking, feeling, and willing unto the personality of Godhead Krishna. And this is what he has come up with at the end. He's saying, Tam imam aham ajam sarira bhajam hidi hidi dhishtitam atma kalpitanam pratidrisham eva naika dharkamekam samadhi gatosmi vidhuta bheda moha. So he's saying, grandfather Bhishma said, as soon as, as the one sun appears differently situated to different spheres. That means in this connection we can understand, like those who are seeing the sun from the earth planet, they experience sun nothing but the rays. Those who are in the higher planetary system, they understand in the sun globe there is Surya Narayana. They actually see him. But those who are living in the sun planet, they see sun god, they see his horses, they see his entourage, and they understand his pastimes and take part in his pastimes. So in that way, though different individuals who are situated in different places, they may perceive the sun differently. So also do you, the unborn, appear differently represented as the Paramatma in every living being. Or you can say, it's a very interesting point. Like those who are devotees, there is also Paramatma in the heart of a devotee. There is Paramatma in the heart of a mental speculator. There is Paramatma in the heart of a karmi, right? But the same Paramatma. They are doing different things, but that facility have been given by the Paramatma through material nature, especially for mental speculator karma. Devotee definitely it is, and he is under Yogamaya. Okay, so but when a seer knows himself to be one of your own servitors, no longer does he maintain such duality that he is in the heart of the mental speculator and he is in the heart of a karmi yogi. There is no difference, same person. This is what Vishmadev is saying. Thus, I am now able to comprehend your eternal forms, knowing well the Paramatma to be only your plenary person. Prabhupada writes, just as the one sun is the object of vision of many different persons, so the one partial representation of Lord Krishna, who lives in the heart of every living entity as the Paramatma, is a variously perceived object. One who comes intimately in touch with Lord Krishna by engaging in his eternal service sees the Supersoul as the localized partial representation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Bhishma knew the Supersoul to be a partial expansion of Lord Krishna, whom he understood to be the Supreme Unborn Transcendental Form. Now, so far, we have explained the second line of this verse, third verse of Mangalachan prayer, Jadadvaita Brahma Panishadi, Tadapyasya Tanubha, Ya Atma Antarjami Purushoiti Asyam Sabhivava. In text number 22, now, Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami, he explains that Govinda, Krishna, has now appeared in form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Saito Govinda Sakshat Chaitanya Gosai. That Govinda personally appears as Chaitanya Gosai. Jiva Nistarite Oiche Deyalu Nai. No other Lord is as merciful in delivering the fallen souls. See, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come with a unique gift. That gift has never ever been given by any other incarnations. In other ages, the incarnations may appear, sometimes they may instruct the citizens, the individuals, on the path of karma, yoga, or jnana, you can say. But here, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give something which has never ever been given. That's why Jiva Nistarite Oiche Dayalu Arnai. There is no one who is as merciful as Lord Chaitanya. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Govinda. And that means whatever we have been discussing, the bodily Brahman is nothing but the effulgence of emanating from the body of Govinda. And the partial manifestation of Govinda is Supersoul who is residing in the heart of every living entity. So you can now define that bodily effulgence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Brahman, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personal incarnation, you can say partial manifestation, is the Paramatma who is situated in the heart of every living entity. Now, there are lot of quotations Prabhupada has given by referring to different Upanishads. Maybe we can read a few of them so that you understand. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different from Krishna himself. Swayam Bhagavan is Krishna, and he is coming himself as Lord Chaitanya. See, there is a verse, it is said here, Mahan Prabhur by Purushaha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Mahaprabhu, so Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Mundaka Upanishad, Jada Pasyah Pasyate Rukma Varanam Kartaramesam Purusham Brahmajonim. One who sees that golden colored personality of Godhead, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Actor, who is the source of the Supreme Brahman, is liberated. Golden colored personality. Kartaramesham Purusham Brahmajonim. Then the next verse is coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam also gives the explanation about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Dheyam sada paribhavagna avishtadoham tirthaspadam shiva virinchinutam saranyam भृत्यार्थिहं प्रणतपाल भवाब्धिपोतं वंदे महापुरुषते चरणारविंदम. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Him, the Lord, upon whom one should always meditate. He destroys insults to His devotees. He removes the distresses of His devotees and satisfies their desires. He, the abode of all holy places and the shelter of all sages, is worshipable by Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. He is the boat of the demigods for crossing the ocean of birth and death. Then the next verse is Taktva Sudustyaja Surep Sitarajya Lakshmin Dharmishta Arya Vachasa Yad Agad Aranyam Maya Mrigam Daitayep Shitam Anvadhavad Bande Mahapurushate Charanarvindam. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of the Lord, upon whom one should always meditate. He left his householder life, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he left his householder life, right? And leaving aside his eternal consort, whom even the denizens of the heaven adore, he went into the forest to deliver the fallen souls. And we are the fallen souls, loitering in the forest of this Kali Yuga. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is running behind us, right? And he is telling, he is asking, Suna Suna Nityananda Suna Haridas Sarvatra Amaragya Karaha Prakash Prati Ghare Ghare Gya Magari Bhikkya Bolo Krishna Bhaja Krishna Kara Krishna Shiksha. So he himself is teaching and he is also asking his devotees to teach. So that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then it is said from the Krishna Jamal Tantra. Punya Kshetre Navadvipe Bhavishyami Sachi Sutah. I shall appear in the holy land of Navadvip as the son of Sachi Devi. Then in Vayu Puran, Kalau Sankirtanarambhe Bhavishyami Sachi Sutah. See, so many references are there. In Vayu Puran is the kind of oldest Puran. It is also saying that in the age of Kali, when the Sankirtan movement inaugurated, I shall descend as the son of Sachi Devi. So there are so many references given. From Ananta Samhita also there is reference at the end. The Supreme Person, Sri Krishna himself, who is the life of Sri Radharani and is the Lord of the universe, is universe in creation, maintenance and annihilation, appears as Gaura, oh Maheshwari. So the same person, Krishna, who comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or Gauranga, there is many references from different Vedic literatures. Therefore, those who want to preach about Krishna, they should take a note on this verse, and you can refer from time to time to prove that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself by quoting these verses. Especially a few verses you can which are very small, sort like we quoted from Krishna Jamal, Vayu Puran. These are very simple, and you can also in Bhagavatam these mentions Taktva Sudustya Surev Starajya Lakshmi Dharmishtajya Vachasajya Gadaranyam. So all these verses you can remember, and you can also talk to people about who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Now, starting with text number 23 until 28, this verse describes about Sadaisarya Purna Jaya Bhagavan Saswayam. This Sadaisarya Purna Bhagavan is Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well, and that has been defined here. Paravyamamate Paravyamete Vaise Narayana Nam Sadaishwarya Purna Lakshmi Kanta Bhagavan. Lord Narayan, who dominates the transcendental world, is full in 6 opulences. He is the personality of Godhead, the Lord of the goddess of fortune. So, Sadaishwarya Purna Lakshmi Kanta Bhagavan. We should understand that in the Paravyama, Paravyama means the transcendental world, that is, which is beyond this material world. That is called Paravyama, where Lord Narayana, he expands himself in many forms, and every form they have a dham. Okay, so there are many forms of Lord Narayana. Veda Bhagavata Upanishad Agam Purna Tattva Jare Kahe Nahi Jar Sam. The personality of Godhead is He who is described as the absolute whole in the Vedas, Bhagavatam, Upanishads, and other transcendental literatures. No one is equal to Him. Srila Prabhupada, in the purport, he gives a quotation from Narayanath Harva Shira Upanishad. Here it says, Narayanath eva samutpadyante Narayanath प्रवर्तन्ते नारायणे प्रविलीयन्ते अथ नित्य नारायणः नारायण एवेदं सर्वं यद्भूतं यच्च भव्यं शुद्धो देवो एक नारायण न द्वितीयोऽस्ति कश्चित्. It is from Narayana only that everything is generated. By him only that everything is maintained. And in him only that everything is annihilated. Therefore, Narayana is eternally existing. Everything that exists now or will be created in the future is nothing but Narayana, who is the unadulterated deity. Therefore, there is only Narayana, nothing else. And who is this Narayana? There is no difference between Narayana and Krishna, or even the Gaur Narayana, right? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The same. So these things are explained further. Bhakti Yuge Bhakta Pai Jahar Darshan. Bhakti Yuge Bhakta Pai Jahar Darshan Surya Jana Savigraha Dekhe Devagan. So their service, devotees see that personality of Godhead just as the denizens of heaven see the personality of the sun. Those who are living in the heaven, they see sun god with his hand, leg, with his chariot, his entourage, but we cannot see him, right? Similarly, those who are devotee of the Lord, they can understand the Lord with his full features. But those who are not devotee, they cannot understand it. Especially those who are jnanis in Jnana Marga, those who are followers of the speculative path, they cannot understand the Supreme Lord. So in that way, due to the different type of the path of worship one accepts, the Lord is realized differently. That's what it says. Jnana yoga margitare bhaje jaisab brahma atma swarupetake tare kare anubhav. Those who are followers of the path of jnana, they realize him as Brahma. Jnana yoga margitare bhaje yoga, they realize him as Paramatma, Antarjami. So I think maybe we should take some questions. Now we will continue from text number 27 in the next class. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare